Alright, this is my second try at this video, since the last time apparently did not enunciate my words well enough for YouTube. Plus there was some sneezing, and overall it just didn't work out very well. So we're going to do a quick run through of intercepts and using them. Here are the standards that we are going to address. IF7A, which is graphing linear functions and showing the intercepts. You'll notice that the standard actually includes quadratic equations. We're not going to deal with those until later in the year. Okay, so we'll revisit this standard. We'll also do FIF4, which you can read that, interpreting key features, which is really going to be, in this case, shocking, intercepts. All right. So let's talk about how do we use these. Well, first, what is an intercept? All right, the x version is when the line crosses the x-axis. It's when x, we don't know what the input is, but we know that the output, the result, is going to be 0. Okay, so we're trying to figure out if my output is 0, what will be my input. Okay. Then I want to know what is my y-intercept. All right, this is where the line is going to cross the y-axis, and this is when I plug in 0. Right, so when I put in my my x coordinate as 0, or my starting point is 0. Okay, I try to figure out what is the output. All right, and here's a line, and you can see just by looking at the graph, you can identify the intercepts pretty quickly. Your x-intercept is going to be here, the blue one. Okay, so it's wherever, in this case it would be -3, 0, and we might say that the x-intercept is at -3. The red one, that's the y-intercept. In this case, we might say that the y-intercept is at +3. Okay, so when I plug in 0, my result is +3. When I plug in -3, my result is 0. All right, so let's talk about how do we find these. Okay, we're first going to do the x-intercept, and then we're going to find the y-intercept after that. But let's do the first one for x-intercepts here. We're going to substitute in 0 for y. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, all right, when in my output, right, my output here is 0, what do I need to plug in order for that to work? Well, the nice thing is when you plug in 0 is that it goes to 0. 4 times 0 is 0. It basically disappears. And then I have 5x is equal to 20. From here, I'm going to divide by 5, and I get x is equal to 4. So I know that my x-intercept is 4, 0. When I plug in 4, the result of my function is 0. All right, so let's do the y-intercept version. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to plug in where x is 0. So remember that this is the y-intercept. Let's go back real quick. The y-intercept is going to be where does this thing cross the y-axis? Okay, so where does it cross along here? This is where x is equal to 0. So let's fly through this part again. Okay, so we're going to make where x is equal to 0. So we plug that in, and the nice thing here is that it's going to go to 0. It basically disappears. So 4y is equal to 20. Divide by 4, and I end up with y is equal to 5. So my y-intercept in this case is 0, 5, and that's when I plug in 0. 5 is the result. 5 is what comes out. It's the output when I plug in 0. And oftentimes, like you said, we can think of this as the starting point. So where is the starting point of this function? 0, 5. So let's put this on a graph. Okay, I have 4, 0. That's on 0, 5. So x and y intercepts. Okay, 4, 0, 0, 5. Draw a line, and there you have it. Okay, use the intercepts in order to graph a line. You can use it to determine different values based on the context of the problem. That's going to be a little bit more dealing with, we'll deal with that a little bit more when we have word problems a little bit more tomorrow. And actually, in this case, what I want you to do also is I want you to describe what would be the domain and the range of this function here. Okay, so go ahead, take a second, pause the video maybe, and you describe what is the domain and range of this function. All right, so hopefully you just found that the domain of this is going to be right? Where x is an element of all real numbers, right? It can be all real numbers. And the range, in this case, is going to be y is an element of real numbers. And there we have it. Domain, range of my function. All right. So from here, what I want you to do is there's a Khan Academy, which you're going to solve for the x-intercept. Just do this one. I'll check it tomorrow with your notes. So you're going to show me notes, and you're also going to show me, or I will check to see if you've done this Khan Academy. Don't forget to log in. Just go on to onto Khan Academy, log in, and then just type in the search box solving for the x-intercept, and it'll take you right there. Okay, good luck.